start in the name of Allah, the most merciful, most beneficent. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all on behalf of Muslim community of Woodland and our mosque over here for this, to attend this Interfaith Iftar dinner 2017. And I greet you all with Islamic greetings, Assalamu alaikum, which means may God's peace and blessing be upon all of you. I'm so happy to see you. Pretty soon we are going to have a lot more people here. You have heard about Pakistan's standard time. Even Americanos are laughing. That is so popular. So we will have a lot bigger, but all our community leaders are here. So we are going to start the program. In my written request to attend, I had assigned 5 minutes to all speakers. Now, since we are running late, so I have cut down to 3 minutes. So it's not your fault, but I know you can do it. Again, thank you very much. We have some new faces, some old friends who have been coming here, and there are some new faces whose maiden voyage here, some new officials, very high-powered officials in Woodland are here, so we wanted to welcome them all also. And Paul, you don't count in those officials, do you? So we just wanted to invite all of you to let our community meet you, and also for you to meet our community also. So if you see this program which I just shared, on top of it, it says program theme, From Fear to Friendship. Fear of unknown is the biggest fear in communities and in people. And only way we can get rid of it is if we meet just like this. So this program has dual purpose, or two sections, I should say. The first section is this social get-together, what we were doing before I came here. Even that is very important, that we get to know each other, we are talking to each other. Generally, I request everybody to at least get to know one person who you didn't know before. And even in sitting, just mix and mingle, but people get into their comfort zone, and that's okay also. The second part is the religious one, which starts in the dark. After sunset, we'll start, eating process and all of that. Like right now, there are some water bottles, but there are some pink drinks and all of that. In a little while, before sunset, they will bring some snacks, plates and stuff, put it here. Just wait till you hear call for prayer, and then we can all start eating. And just do a little housekeeping. And when the snacks are eaten, our Muslim community who are fasting, they are going to go inside the mosque and pray. And we will open the buffet dinner for all of our guests who are not fasting. And then you can get the food, and then right after the prayer they can come and they can get their food and you can sit down and eat, and that's the end of it. But most important part to get to know each other is we have a wonderful community, and some very gracious people have agreed to come here and share their thoughts with the community, and I really appreciate it. Everybody is important who came here, but I really appreciate all the people who decided that they are kind enough that they come here and they speak. Officially, we start the program always with recitation of Quran. So I'm going to call our Imam Sahib, Imam Sharif Sealvi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Imam Sahib. Bahut shukriya. Thank you, Imam. I'll just translate it. In Holy Quran, God Almighty says, O you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, so that you may learn self-restraint. The month of Ramadan is the one in which Quran was sent down as a pure source of guidance for mankind. In it are clear teachings showing the right way and the criterion for judging truth and falsehood. Quran says it was prescribed to nations before even Muslims. And we as Muslims, we believe all the previous prophets like Prophet Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Noah, Adam, all the known or unknown. Unless we believe in truth of their being prophethood, we cannot be Muslim. Even if I say I don't believe that Jesus was a prophet, I cannot be a Muslim. I have to believe that. And we believe that he was born to Mary in a virgin birth story. There's a whole big chapter in Holy Quran about that. So since other religions were asked to fast also, I have requested a friend of mine from St. Luke's Episcopal Church. I had to work on that. Terri Hobart, Reverend Terri Hobart. She's going to come and she is going to, in 3 minutes, not only talk about Christians' way of fasting, but make a prayer of peace for all humanity, and especially for us also. Terri, she's an accountant by profession. She has a degree in accounting, and then she got a master's in divinity, and she's here. So you must be dedicated to religion. Terri, do you want to hold this?
Thank you. So fasting is also one of the spiritual disciplines or practices that we have in our faith tradition. Traditionally, the way that we have understood fasting, we specifically focus on it, well, in the monastic traditions, obviously, but in the season of Lent, it's very common. And Lent is the 40 days before Easter. And it's a time that we spend preparing for Easter. And we talk about it as a time of prayer, of fasting, and of almsgiving. And it's really an opportunity for us to, it's a gift of time and space for us to take, step out of our normal life and look at the things that separate us from God, and look at the ways to break those habits and attachments, and look at the things that draw us closer to God. And so in a traditional sense of fasting during Lent, what will often happen is we don't give up eating like till sundown. But what we will often do is we will cut back and we'll try to eat for 2 meals a day, half of what we normally eat. And we'll do what we call abstinence, which will abstain from certain meat. It could be abstain from certain foods. It could be meat, or it could be dairy. It could be different types of food. So fasting is abstinence. And what the rule of thumb has always been is that as we cut back from eating, then we have more time to spend in prayer, and then we have more resources, and we're to take those resources that we would normally spend on the food and use that to give the food to the poor and to the needy. So that's one aspect of how we fast in our religion. The other thing I just wanted to share is right now, the Episcopal Church and the Lutheran Church, along with a number of other churches, have called their congregations to a campaign called For Such a Time as This. and it's called to prayer, fasting, and advocacy. And what it is that we have noticed that people who rely on public assistance for food, about the 21st of each month, all their resources run out, and they often do not have food for the last week of the month. And so as a commitment and as to be a voice and advocate for these people, the churches have called for their congregations to fast on the 21st day of each month through the end of the 115th congressional session, and to pray that that our leaders will find ways to just kind ways to deal with this issue in our country. And so that's another way we use it, is advocacy and to draw our attention to people in need.
Very good.
Shall we pray? Send thy peace, O Lord, which is perfect and everlasting, that our souls may radiate peace. Send thy peace, O Lord, that we may think, act, and speak harmoniously. Send thy peace, O Lord, that we may be contented and thankful for thy bountiful gifts. Send thy peace, O Lord, that amidst our worldly strife, we may enjoy thy bliss. Send thy peace, O Lord, that we may endure all, tolerate all, in the thought of thy grace and mercy. Send thy peace, O Lord, that our lives may become a divine vision, and in thy light all darkness may vanish. Send thy peace, O Lord, our Father and Mother, that we, thy children on earth, may all unite in one family.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Terri. This two mic thing is now working for me. Fasting, that's interesting. Everybody knows about Muslim fasting these days. From dawn through dusk at sunset, we don't eat, drink, smoke. But that's not the only fasting for us. God says, if you are fasting, I don't just want your hunger. I want total piety from you. So the fasting is not just for your stomach, it's for your eyes. Don't see and do things with that which you are not supposed to be doing. Watch your hands, your actions, walk your feet where you go, your demeanor, your whole spiritual life has to be rejuvenated with goodness. And during Ramadan, Muslims really take it seriously. Even sinners like me start acting like saints. So if you want to see me in sainthood, today is it. More people give to charity during this, and more people pray during nights and days and all of that. So which is a good thing. And then the lesson is that we are supposed to be carrying on this during the rest of the year, and until next year comes again. I'm going to call some very dear people to me up front. These are called our mosque board of directors. Why don't you all, instead of me calling, we have 9 people who are mosque board of directors. In any organization, to work it properly, effectively, result-oriented, people have to be able to think about things, and people have to be able to plan and execute. One on this side, one on this side. We are going to make a symmetrical thing here. So, Sadia, could you come here, please? Stand next to me. Yeah, stand next to me. Woodland Mosque is on the cutting edge. We even have Sadia on our board of directors. I'm so proud of her. Chief Solar, she's a Ghazali Sahib. You're hiding my chief of police. This young lady, she is going to college right now, but my spies told me she wants to be a police officer. So Ms. Ramirez, where is she? We have a lady fire chief one day we may have a lady chief of police in Woodland also. Give her a hand. Thank you. Raisa, you keep on taking pictures. Don't be stingy on it. It's very hard to catch these people. That's why I wanted to catch them now, because then they get busy in the back. But they do so much for our community. I just request them that this needs to be done. I don't know where money comes and efforts come and everything gets happen, and then I come here and I blabber over here. So I really appreciate them. And this is just one aspect of the thing. Overall, there's so many positive things they do in community. Zahoor Ahmed is in EDD, he's IT senior person. Bashir, if you go anywhere and the lights are working properly, he's a senior engineer in Caltrans. And Mubarak, he is in medical profession somewhere. He's kind of secretive, don't tell me the whole story about him. Ahad Pervez, he is a premier business person. I mean, he's everywhere, very successful in business. Sadia, as I introduced you, she is a student, but aspiring chief of police. And Usman Sadiq, he is a senior engineer also with Caltrans. I think he even worked on Bay Bridge for a little bit. Shafi Sialvi, everything is golden one these days. Even our arena became golden one. He works for Golden One. He's a senior CPA, MBA type of thing. Abdus, what do you do? He's a very active guy. He has been in Woodland community for a long time. He works here at some outfit in managerial position somewhere. And Ali Khadam, everybody knows Ali Khadam. He has a tire shop on Main Street. And the reason I appreciate him, not only he makes good business, but he treats people right, and everybody on the street knows him, and he's involved in different things, and we really appreciate it. Zaisab, are you done?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Please give him a big hand. While we are at it, introductions, I'm going to do one more thing. I gave this group of people 39 seconds to come here and get done and go back. Could you please, all of you, come here for a few minutes? These are young scholars from Pakistan, Faisalabad Agriculture University. They are doing their doctorate over there, and for 6 months they were here. Come on, girls. They are PhD candidates, and they were here on scholarship at UCD. So I found them by chance at an iftar in Davis last week. And they are from, some of them are from my back home in Pakistan, some from my wife's, and everywhere. Whole Pakistan is my home at one time was. So I just wanted to appreciate them. I invited them, they were so gracious, they came here. Raisab, you have 20,000 pictures, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much, guys. I know their names, but we don't have time right now. Thank you very much. We'll put you guys on our website with your names. So that was it. As far as that is concerned, that was really important part. I'm going to invite our City Mayor, Honorable Angel Barajas. Angel, this is his first time here, even though he's a local boy, made things happen. So thank you very much. Yes, he even gets his own microphone. It's so good. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you all. So thank you for all the brothers and sisters and the elders and everybody else who is here today. On behalf of the Woodland City Council, it's my honor to be able to present a few items here today at today's Ramadan event. First, I'd like to recognize a few of the officials here in our community. to highlight. We have here Jesse Salinas. He's the County Assessor, Clerk, Recorders, and Elections Office. Jesse, thank you for being here. We also have our City Manager Paul Navazio. We have the new Chief of Police for the Woodland Police Department, Chief Luis Soler. We also have our Fire Department Chief, Rebecca Ramirez. And then we also have the President of the Woodland Community College, Michael White. Okay, so I'm here basically to say, as mayor and as a council, as a community, it's very important to acknowledge not only the Muslim community, but the significance of Ramadan and how government should play a part as a partner with the community and all stakeholders here in Woodland. We embrace, as America, we embrace all cultures, all religions, all communities, and it's very significant and important that here in Woodland, we not only say it, but we also demonstrate it to those that are in our community. And I know the Muslim and Muslim American community has been a very important part of our community in the development of Woodland here. And these type of events bring unity, peace, and love. And we need that, especially during the most tragic times in our country. There's been certain incidences, and also here in Yolo County and some in Woodland, that we've treated others with disrespect, and there's been incidences that we wish that would never be repeated. But it's important also as a community that we bond together and say no to that, but also be able to educate the significance of our Muslim community here in Woodland. And in doing so, government plays a part in making sure that there's equal access and opportunity for those in businesses, education, recreation of youth and sports, and in different areas of government. So on behalf of Woodland, on behalf of the council, I'm here to make sure that we say that we're in solidarity with the Muslim American community here in Woodland and in everywhere else. Also, I'd like to say that we're making strides in doing so. We recently appointed a young individual from your community, in our community, Rashid Ali, to the Parks and Recs Commission for the City of Woodland. And I think that's the first time that I know of we've been able to appoint a Muslim American on the Parks and Recs here for the City of Woodland. So I know there's a lot of young youth here in attendance. There's opportunities to engage in committees and commissions and be able to engage at the city level. And we encourage you to do so, and I can stay connected with you, and we can connect after this, after today's event, because I'm very interested in getting more diversity onto our different representation opportunities at City Hall. I'd also like to thank my friend here, Ali, that owns USA Tires. He's a really good ambassador, not only to the business community, but also to here in Woodland, just being able to talk to a lot of individuals that make a difference. They always tell me that Ali, not only is he good a businessman, but he cares. He really cares and demonstrates good stewardship here in our community. And he's a true beacon, an example of the Muslim American community here in Woodland. And before I leave, I'd like to provide a proclamation to, it's a mayoral proclamation to not only today's organizer of the event, but a really special person here in Woodland that has been doing a great service to our community. His name is Khalid Saeed. So we all know him. Khalid, can you come up to the front? There you go. So on behalf of the City of Woodland, we do have a mayoral proclamation for him. I want to read some lines, and then I want to be able to hand it off to you. Okay, by the way, just as a little side note, Khalid is a father of a good friend of mine that I went to kindergarten in school with in public schools, and his son is Omar, right here sitting down, Omar. So him and I, we used to have kindergarten together. We were 5 years old, and I remember seeing Mr. Saeed drop him off and pick him up. And I was a little kid too, 5 years old, and our parents know each other. And it's great to see honorable families and men like you, yourself, being able to contribute back to their community, and it's an honor to be standing before you today. So whereas in the aftermath of September 11, 2001, Mr. Saeed joined American Muslim Voice Foundation and its national president and dared to envision a culture of peace, acceptance, mutual respect, and harmony. And whereas Mr. Saeed has served for over a decade as a member of the Woodland Episcopal and Multi-Faith Ministries, which is striving to create a peace and harmony in Yolo County. And whereas as president of the Pakistan American Forum, Mr. Saeed's main focus is on peace and community building by fostering friendships among all Americans, encouraging all members of the community to move from fear to friendship. Now therefore let it be resolved that I, Angel Barajas, Mayor of the City of Woodland, do recognize Mr. Khalid Saeed for his work and commitment to building a community of peace and respect. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and conclude my remarks. Please, I'd love to engage with people that have any questions about the city, that has any opportunities that you'd like to serve here and be able to give back to the community. I'm at full access for you. And thank you and have a good event.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for this recognition. Anyway, time is short and food is coming, so I'm going to just hold off on further comments. A young youth's day in Ramadan. Aisha Sadiq, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, not even water? This, ladies and gentlemen, has officially become the most annoying question I have ever been asked in my entire life. That's saying something, considering I get asked, are you forced to wear that? Or do you shower in that? Multiple times on a daily basis. So the topic of today's speech is fasting as a Muslim American teenager. To break it down, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my routine. It all starts around 3 a.m. when my mom attempts to wake me up, which if you ask her, isn't the easiest task in the world. When I finally manage to drag myself out of bed, I go make wudu and begin helping my mom prepare for Sahri. After the parathas and chai are all ready, I go wake up my dad. Now, most families would quietly eat their food, go pray, and go back to sleep. But my family is not like most families. As soon as we sit down to eat, all the babies are up and running. It is hectic to say the least. I'm trying to get Uswa, my 6-year-old sister, back to sleep. My mom is trying to get Muhammad Ali, the 5-month-old, back to sleep. Zainab and Halima, my other 2 sisters, are ripping each other's hair out. And my dad is on Facebook casually eating his food. When by some miracle he does notice the chaos surrounding him, he's too late. We're all done. All the babies are calmed down. They're all sleeping. And he just kind of looks and he's like, okay, I have nothing to do. I'm going to go pray at the mosque now. My mom and I take turns praying, one watching the kids while the other prays, and when we're both done, we can finally go back to bed. A few weeks of Ramadan were at the same time as the last few weeks of school, including the deeply loathed, most feared week for every student, finals week. Since I was fasting, I had no snacks to help me throughout the tests, so instead, I quietly recited everything I've memorized from the time I was about 5 to now. Now that school's out, I usually spend the day helping my mom out with my siblings and cleaning up after them. Around 3 p.m., I'm exhausted and start feeling the effects of having no food or water in my system. At this time, I will recite the Quran to help me be patient and really reflect on what the poor have to endure on a daily basis. Around 7:30, I help my mom prepare the meal for iftar. We cut up fruit, make lemonade, and fry some pakoras. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have accepted our fast and thank Him for the food He has provided us with. When the time to break the fast comes and I start eating, I realize how truly blessed I am. When Ramadan comes to an end, I feel a little empty inside, not physically, but emotionally. I will thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me such a joyful and peaceful month and pray for many more Ramadans to celebrate with those I love the most. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Jazakallah.
Thank you, Aisha. Wasn't she wonderful? Paul, sir, Mr. Are you on next online?
Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious. Time is flying and they're bringing food and you have 2.5 minutes now.
Yes, the mayor took all of my time, so we're good. Yeah, actually, thanks again for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. It's really events like this that remind us that as a community, when we come together, we can do really good things. I think in the current climate here in our state and nationally and in the world, it's what's happening in cities and towns and local communities and in our neighborhoods. It's kind of the example of how we can get things done. I'm proud of a lot of the work that we're doing at the city. We're not doing it alone. We're doing it in partnership with our business community, partnership with other agencies, partnership with the faith-based community and neighborhoods around the community. I'm also proud that with Mayor Barajas as a leader of our council, that I think we might have as diverse a council as I'm aware of here at the City of Woodland, whether it's different generations, different ethnicities, different political parties, but they work really tirelessly for the good of the community, and I think it's a really good example, and I'm hoping that folks on the other side of the country can take note and follow our lead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. If somebody takes less time, you clap more. Next, I'm going to call our new Chief of Police, of course, Chief Louis Solar. Chief, I was at his oath ceremony, and what I heard, he's tailor-made for Woodland. His qualifications, his background, experience, and all that. So welcome to Woodland, sir, and welcome to Mosque. Thank you very much for making time. He just moved, his wife is setting home, and he's here. He was so kind to come.
Good evening. Thanks for those kind words. I'm very excited to be here. I was also very tired because it's been a crazy week. I've been here for 1 week, and it's been great. I'm honored to be the newest addition to Team Woodland. I think the city is up to a lot of good things, and just bringing me in, it's just an honor and a pleasure. I'm also honored to be here today. I just wanted to make a few comments. Some of you attended my swearing-in ceremony on Monday. There I spoke about my commitment to the community and building community, and I want to reiterate that tonight, or this evening here. One of my main goals as Chief of Police is making sure that we reach out to all segments of our community. And then we reach out, we also treat them with respect and dignity, no matter what your faith, your color, your origin, your lifestyle, whatever it is. We're going to treat everybody with respect, with dignity, and fairness. As you all know, it's difficult times for our country. It's a difficult time for law enforcement. It seems like nowadays everybody's judged by their faith, by their politics, by the lifestyle, etc. We're not going to do that. We're going to treat everybody with respect. And that's my commitment to you, and that's my commitment to every citizen in this community. Once again, I'm very happy to be here. I want to point out we do have a very big volunteer program, and we welcome members of the Muslim American community of Woodland to join a volunteer program. I think it's a great thing for you to see how we operate and what we do, and then we can come back to the community and explain, why do police do what they do and why we do it. I think sometimes there's a lot of lack of knowledge or misunderstanding in that respect. And one more thing, where's my future police officer? Keep dreaming. I think you'll get there. I think in law enforcement we were lacking a lot of diversity at this point, especially at the upper level command staff, chiefs. It's unfortunate, but I think we're making great strides in this country, and so keep it up. And I hope to see you soon in the force. We hopefully in the Woodland Police Force, but if not, in law enforcement, and keep it up. Thank you.
David, believe it or not, I do have some friends, and David Vidmar is one of them. bad guys are always active in the communities all around the world. So we need some good people who are active also. And David is one of those good guys who, anywhere there is something positive happen, he's there to support. And I invited him to say a few words, minute and a half.
Assalamu alaikum. That's a few words. No, I'm just encouraged. Even the title of this thing is Faith, Fear to Friendship, from fear to friendship. And I think that's using, the world kind of looks at religion and conflicts and kind of thinks if we become less religious, maybe there'll be less conflict in the world, less war, less, and so there's a tendency for us to kind of pull back and think maybe we need to do that. But I think people of faith are now encouraged to say we can dig deeper into our faith and find out, is it fear, is it hatred, is it pushing people away, or is our faith drive us to know each other? I know within Islam, Allah says, you know, why did God make all the nations? So that they might seek to know each other. And that's a wonderful thing that within my Muslim friends saying that this is what we need to be doing in our faith, to know the other. And within Christianity, I think that as an evangelical Christian who sometimes kind of wonders whether I should even call labels and jettison that whole thing, I have to look at Jesus and say, how does he treat those that are religiously different than him? And is it love? Is it fear? Is it hatred? No. So for us to look at our faith in deeper ways, that's my responsibility as I look at some of the things that people have used my faith to ostracize or hurt other people. And I can go and look at fear, but I can also say perfect love casts out fear. So that's what I have to look at in my own faith. So thank you, Khalid.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Michael White, some wise man told me that every person has three fathers. One is your biological father. One, when you, boy or girl, get married, her or his father. And the third one is the most important one. Other fathers bring you down from heaven to earth, and these third fathers are the teachers who educate you, rear you, make you smart, and send back to Moon and Mars again. So among us is Dr. Michael White. What a kind man. I don't have time to tell stories about him, but he invited me to speak to his staff and teachers so they can make our students who are fasting and going to college, their life comfortable. And we did do that, and that was very kind of you, sir. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. I'm going to take Mr. Saeed's challenge and be the shortest speaker you've heard tonight. Thank you so much for allowing me to represent Woodland Community College and all of higher education. We've seen a couple of examples of those students who are in community college and international universities. Higher education is a place for tolerance, for open thought, for freedom of speech. And I will tell you that Woodland Community College is absolutely a partner in resisting the intolerance, the bigotry, and the hate that we are experiencing right now. So please, please join us into that support. Thank you so much.
Sorry, we make a program, but then people don't show up, so it's not my fault. Anyhow, our new chief of fire department, I saw her in uniform other day. She looks so good in uniform also. Thank you very much for coming. Rebecca Ramirez, she's our new chief of fire department, and we welcome you to Woodland and welcome you to the mosque. You have a minute and a quarter.
Perfect. I'll probably take a little bit of salam. And when I think of that word, I think of peace and what comes with that word, and the love and the joy and the peace that I felt even since I've been here, coming from not too far away, but as one could think an outsider, I wondered how I might be accepted in the city of Woodland and the the graciousness and the welcoming that I have received here has been truly heartwarming. And so I say thank you to that. And part of that I see is because we don't just talk about diversity, but we live diversity in the city of Woodland. That's emulated also in your fire department. The inclusion that the fire department has with its community is one of a ripple effect that is forward and back throughout the community. So I'm just blessed to be a part of that community, and I thank you for having me in here. So I'll keep it short for you tonight, but thank you once again for having me as your fire chief.
Elizabeth, could you come here for me, please? Do you see these pictures over here? We are in the process of putting together a new mosque, inshallah. Prophet said, when you worship is good, but making a prayer is the meat of the prayer, worship. Prayer, asking God's help is the meat of worship. So I requested our Imam, all of us who are Muslim community, we are praying 24/7 for this new mosque. And it's on other side of the railway line across from Chief's building, Chief of Police's building. So we are in a good neighborhood. Somebody will be watching over us besides him. So, and I mean him and him, we have no worries. So I asked Elizabeth to come here and make a special prayer. We are people of book, Christians, Jews, Muslims, very special people. So I asked her to make a prayer for success for our event, our project, and the dough and the approvals and all that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khalid. Assalamu alaikum. It is good to be together. I'm going to read to you from Zabur, or Psalm 133. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. It is like precious oil poured on the head, running down the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down on the collar of his robe. It is as if the dew of Hermon were falling on Mount Zion, for there God bestows blessing, even life, forevermore. Khalid said to me that we are a people aspiring to build a mosque in Woodland. And so in this aspiration, we are also people who aspire to be better neighbors, to be stronger community, and to love one another beyond all of the barriers that the world puts up for us. And so I invite you now into a prayer of unity and hope. Holy and gracious one, you call us together, your people, people of many faiths, people of many differences and likenesses. This day we give thanks, and we pray with our aspirations high for the building of a new religious community, and a community that is hungry for new experience. And yet this is not something new. It is a community that has life and breadth, and that is active right now in our world. Gracious God, in all of it, we know that you are present, and we pray your blessing upon this project. May it be filled with abundance. May the halls be filled with music. And when those halls get built, may it be a joyful day. Look around and listen, for these are the gifts, and there are many right here and right now that will build this house of God. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Next, I'm going to introduce you two guys. Superman. And why I say that, if I can open this thing, I'll tell you why. Jesse, could you please come on over? This is my friend, newest friend I should say, Mr. Jesse Salinas. Now this is what he does. No wonder I call him Superman. Just hear it out. He's county assessor for whole of the county. He's an assessor. He's a tax collector. He's county recorder, clerk recorder. And he is chief of election department. When do you have
time for your wife. Do you have children already, I hope?
They're old and grown up.
Okay, well, that's okay then. So please welcome Jesse, my friend Salinas. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Khalid, for the invitation. It's such an honor to be here today. I should tell you, I do need to qualify something. So there is a correction that I do need to make on my title. So as you can imagine, people call me a lot of names, right? But I do have to make a note. The one name that they do not call me actually is a tax collector. So I am the County Assessor, I'm the Clerk Recorder, and I am the Elections Official, also known as the Register of Voters. So again, a lot of hats that we wear, but here in our office, but I'm very proud to be here today. And two of the services that we provide that I'm very proud of, one is vital records. And not only do we do birth certificates with vital records, we also do death certificates. And we know how important the timeliness of that service is to your community. So one of the commitments we've made in our department is that that service is available on evenings and weekends. And I will commit to you that as long as I am in this leadership position, that will continue to be the case. We will continue to be responsive. Secondly is I'm also the Register of Voters, and I'm looking forward to working with your community and making sure that everybody who is eligible to vote is registered to vote. Your voice is so important, and I want to make sure each of you has that opportunity to step up and have your voice heard. So with that, thank you again. It's an honor and privilege to be here, and I look forward to getting to know all of you as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I think it's almost time, and we have just a couple of more minutes for Iftar. Tell my friend Ziga. Dell is a very dear friend. We always meet in Woodland Ecumenical and Multi-Faith Ministries. I'm not an imam, but I play one in Woodland sometimes, unofficially. So he is going to, we are about to call for prayer and pretty soon, but before that, Dell is going to say prayer before the meal. Dell.
And I'm not a reverend. Okay. Thank you, Khalid. And before Khalid asked me to do an interfaith, but before I do that, I just want to thank all our Muslim brothers and sisters for inviting us here tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Let us pray. Our creating, loving, and sustaining God, today we people come to you in celebration. We celebrate this land that you've given us. We celebrate the family, friends, and partners you have most generously provided to us to enrich our lives. We celebrate the community of Woodland and Yolo County, which you have drawn us to and where we can work, live, and thrive. We celebrate peace, harmony, and friendship in this community. We celebrate the bounty of this land, which provides all of us the beauty and substance that we need. Tonight, we break this fast. We ask that you bless the bountiful table that you've set before us and the friends and family that you have brought together in this beloved community. In your name, amen.
Dell, hold on a minute, please. Dell is not a priest or reverend. I just talked to him. Which denomination you want? I can ordain you right now.
Do I have to send you $1?
No, I will give you $1. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, if I can play imam, he can play priest over there also. It's time to call for prayer. As soon as he utters first word, you can dig in with the dates. Dates are traditionally the way we break our fast. Like they jokingly say, we Muslims are not supposed to have premarital relationships, no dating, but in Ramadan, every Muslim gets a date. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمد الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة والرفية وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد.
We need some water bottles on this section. Quick. Yeah, we'll be getting some water here, please. Quick. So please
Start your breaking of the fast, and traditionally we start with the dates because it kind of gives you energy. But you don't have to do that. I'm just saying that's the way we do that. I'm going to, while we are eating, I really would like you to, we have one guest, she was gracious enough to let me invite her now and say a few words. She is Samina Sandis, Executive Director, Founding Executive Director of American Muslim Voice. It was an organization created to build bridges and create friendship among all communities. She has been invited to George W. Bush's White House a couple of times. Mr. Obama invited one time, but I was telling her, don't hold your breath this time. So anyway, she came from Palo Alto. I really appreciate it. The reason I'm telling it, she drove on my request from Palo Alto. So please give her your one ear at least. Thank you very much.
Even if I got the invitation, I would not go. So, my dear fellow Americans, Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon all of you. It is because of your commitment to hold justice, have friendships, I am going to ask you something. I'm going to encourage you to step up, as all of you have already mentioned, that Muslims, Latinos, Black Americans, other Americans are really under siege. So as my fellow Americans who have some privileges, I'm going to ask you to please become our ambassadors. We keep hearing that even 14 years after the 9/11, that where are the moderate Muslims? Why don't they do something? Why are they not saying anything? We have been saying, we have been doing. You are the witness to that. So that's why we encourage you to please, if you hear that, where are the moderate Muslims? Where are the peaceful Muslims? Tell people, let us take you to the moderate Muslims. Let us take you to the peaceful Muslims. They are all around America. In every neighborhood, they are your teachers, they are your students, they are your doctors, they are your nurses. They are doing every job that any American can imagine they are doing. So that is why it is crucial that we get your support more than you are pledging today. May I please have the show of hands? Tell me how many of are you willing to be our ambassadors? Thank you so much. That's what we really need. Ambassadors who would just go and say, you don't know anything. We do, because we know Muslims. We founded American Muslim Voice in 2003 to do exactly that. Know your neighbors, not just Muslim neighbors. Know every neighbor that you have, because what you will find is that we have more things in common that bind us than they divide us. So those are the things we need to focus on. Rather than focusing on things that divide us, let us start focusing things on that bind us. And I'm going to challenge you, including myself. Ever since Comey hearing, I don't know about you, but I have been saying our country has been more divided than ever before. And I think we need to just really open our minds and hearts and souls and say, let us start thinking. What are 1, 2, 3 things we could find in common with Trump voters? I'll start with that. They want the best for their kids. We want the best for our kids. They want the best for their seniors. We want the best for our seniors. They want jobs. We want jobs. They want health care. We want health care. Let us start talking from there. What else we can do? Let us please move from fear to friendship. That is the motto of American Muslim Voice. Hopefully you will keep coming to our peace picnics, iftar dinners, and anything else we do, because we are counting on you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sina Saba.